Good evening, and welcome to the 2022 Taunton DECA Induction Ceremony. Can I have a round of applause, please? Thank you, everybody, for being here. We have a great night planned for us. This is a unique night. I would say that the last couple of years have been interesting, to say the very least. We've all come through a pandemic. We've finally gotten back to full learning, and we have some kids who have decided to join a club, and we are grateful for that because we do have a saying around here that a connected student is a better student, and DECA is just one of the clubs. We have a lot, but it's one of the clubs that gives kids a chance to connect so that they can actually do something that's going to help them benefit themselves in the future. We don't exactly know how, but it's safe to say that the way it benefits people is compounded by their effort, and it's just a nice place to be. So we're very happy that you're here to support us. We're very happy that you're all here this year, and you know, we have a lot of our students here tonight. We have passed 200 students for the year. We usually average about 200, 240 students a year, and that's one of the largest chapters in Massachusetts, so I think that's deserving of a round of applause as well. So I'm going to try to keep mine short. I work hard every year to try to get it shorter and shorter and shorter, but we'll see what I can do here. So first of all, I'm going to mostly direct my attention to the students, okay? And if there's any questions at the end of this, by all means, please come see me, talk to me, ask me questions, email. I am always available for you, okay? Any and all questions available for you. So my question to you tonight, why do you DECA? It's a weird way of saying it, right? Why do you DECA? Nike has a vision statement, and I know if you're in my classes, I share that with you because there is no reason why people should buy a sweatshirt just because there's a little swoosh. What about that little swoosh gives us so much power? There's something, right? It's an intangible, it's magnetic, it's powerful, it's something. Their vision statement is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. And what that means, they have a little asterisk, a little star above athlete. And the way they define athlete is if you breathe, you are an athlete. So basically, they want to bring inspiration and innovation to everybody around the world. They don't say that they make the best sneaker. Frankly, I don't think they do. At least not for me at 50 years old. But they do make some stylish ones, but they don't advertise it like that. They bring inspiration. They have some old man running at 5 o'clock in the morning, coming home, kissing his wife, sitting down, no words, just Nike. And in that branding, in that power, there's something magical and powerful there. I don't need the mic. Oh, there it is. Okay, that speaks louder, okay, than just saying the features and benefits of a shoe. They kind of talk about their why. They talk about why they do this, and that's what I want you to decide. I want you to decide your why. Some of you are here because we said it was mandatory, and part of the reason we say it's mandatory is because we know, kind of like eating your vegetables, you should be here. You know, you got to eat your vegetables, you got to be here. You got to support the team. You're better off being here than playing video games tonight. Play them later, okay? Others are here because you want to do something with your friends and create some fun memories. Perfect. Nothing wrong with that. Then there are others who know that DECA will add value in some unknown way to their future. They've heard it helps with colleges, scholarships, careers, and networking. While those are all true, it's important to know our why. The cool thing about Taunton High School, especially here at Taunton High School, is if you don't know your why yet, you can create it. And there are people here who will help you. Taunton High, I have seen, has the resources, the educators, and the opportunities for you to build a strong foundation in order to build a beautiful life that you will be proud of. I want you to look around right now. It might be hard to see, but they're in the crowd right now. They're in our audience. Tonight we have in our audience newly elected Massachusetts State Representative Carol Doherty. We have members of our school committee, Louis Laura, and also he is representing Senator Pacheco. Our assistant superintendent, Chris Barata. Where is he? Ah, way up there, way up there. We have our associate principal, Mr. Torres. I did see him pop in here. There he is. And we have our co-DECA advisor, Linda Cicatelli. We have our Tiger Shack school manager, Kristen Sullivan. Higher, there she is. And above all right, we have our family to support us, okay? And if you need to know how to find your wife, you need to connect to something, you have a support network like none other. So, I ask you, what kind of life do you want to build? Because no matter what you want, you have the support to build it, and more importantly, by joining Taunton DECA, you have taken the most important step to lead you to your why, your first step. Let's make it a great year, and let's, as I always say, whenever I coach baseball or whatever I'm coaching or doing or teaching, let's make it a great story. Now, at this time, we are very fortunate to have a keynote speaker who is local, comes from a small town right nearby. It's actually the town I live in as well, and we'll be giving a warm welcome to her in a moment. But before we do, the format we're going to do is going to be an interview, and we're going to have two of our officers come up, and when I introduce them, and they're going to sit over here, and they're going to be interviewing our guest. I'd like to introduce and give a warm welcome to our two interviewers, Jada Blanche and Xavier Sandoval. Good to have you guys. Good luck. Good luck. All right. They're not nervous. Now, tonight, we are very fortunate to have as our keynote speaker a person who is a 3-time Emmy award-winning journalist, a former Miss Massachusetts and top 10 Miss USA, an entrepreneur who has started a women's networking group called The Connector, and most recently, an entrepreneur who just started a marketing company called Newsmaker Marketing. Please, let's all give a warm welcome to Mrs. Jackie Bruno. Up here, yeah. So you're going to go right over there, yeah? Okay. That's it.
How's it going tonight, guys? Hello, you two. I've already started pre-interviewing them. I'm so impressed with them. They are superstars, and I'm already trying to hire them.
Thank you for coming, and we're so happy and honored to have you with us. As most of us know, you have experience interviewing some huge names, such as Tom Brady, Chad Ochocinco, Jennifer Lopez, and Mark Wahlberg, just to name a few.
Thank you.
Sorry.
There we go.
Hello.
So hold on, read that again. That was a good list. I like hearing it. One more time.
Tom Brady, Chad Ochocinco, Jennifer Lopez, and Mark Wahlberg, just to name a few.
Do you want to know who the worst celebrity was to interview?
Who?
Sarah Jessica Parker. There's some tea for you guys.
Ooh.
Wasn't nice. Nope.
Ooh.
Best?
So
You won't even know who he is. Ted Danson, the parents in the office. Yeah, best.
Okay. What would you say what's one thing that they all have in common?
They're much richer than me. And they went after a dream. And I think that that's pretty true for anybody that goes after something big. They are determined, and they made something happen, and they work really hard for it.
And would you say your best interview is also your most fun interview, or what would be your most fun interview?
My most fun interview. Whew. Oh, you probably don't know this either. Okay, I'm feeling so old. Jason, is it Jason? Jason Michael Higgins, I think his full name is. The guy from Best in Show, no? Okay, he was one of the Shih Tzu owners on Best in Show. He was so funny, and I got to hang out with him all day long. That was super fun. Who else was really good? Oh, I once did a C-section fake on the set of Chicago Med. And then when I was getting a C-section, delivering my second child, I go, are you cutting through all 3 layers, skin, fat, muscle, womb or whatever, they're like, how do you know this? I'm like, because I did it on TV. So like, yeah, that was kind of fun and crazy.
So obviously we have so many high schoolers here all ready to listen to you. So what are some things that helped you as a high schooler prepare for the future?
Whew. Well, high school prepares you for a lot of things in life, and then it tortures you as well, and you will realize that it's a small part of your life, and the lessons that you learn. God, what did Aponequid Regional High School do for me? Clearly, Taunton High is doing a lot for you guys. I think that it taught me that I love to write, and I think that sent me off into college in a really good place, knowing that that was my passion, and I think it's still my passion, and I loved that. I also, that's a hard one, guys. I was such a nerd in high school, I think I was tortured. So it's gotten much better since. College is amazing, and you all should go to college and learn a lot, and just make sure you get there, because it's a good time.
And with that, what would you say is your first step to success, if there is even one?
Your first step to success is just the first step. You got to start something. When I started The Connector, which is my women's group that I started during the pandemic, I realized as a busy working mom of 2 kids, I did not have time to hang out with my friends anymore, and there was this thing called a pandemic ruining my life, and on top of that, none of these restaurants had anybody to go to them, right, during the pandemic, so I called a bunch of my PR friends and some of my news friends and said, we have to start getting together, we got to figure out a way to do so, and I started this organization just because I wanted to, on the micro level, make it easier to hang out with all of our acquaintances, meet my friends' friends, and then on the macro level, I thought if we could build our network and meet everybody that we needed to know, we'd be pretty successful.
That's great. And you brought up the point of networking. How important would you say networking is, especially at such a young age?
I think it's the most important thing you could do, and it's not something that it's an everyday thing. It's coming in here and doing things like this, meeting people, putting yourself in situations that you're going to meet someone else, right? It could be in the line at Starbucks. It could be at school. It could be at Target. You might meet someone, and that person could change your life. So just be really personable all the time and talk to people. And literally, I just started my company a month ago. I left television news after a 15-year career, and I don't know if you guys watch the news lately. It's pretty negative lately, I'd say. And it was hard to keep covering the bad news, and it was weighing on my mental health, and I decided I needed to find another way to storytell. I didn't know who else was going to pay me money to do a story until I did a bunch of job interviews and started really figuring out, like, where could I go with this skill that's not in news? And I realized I could storytell directly for companies to their social media. And rather than PR, that's all about earned media, I could tell people stories on their owned media, which is their social media channels, their websites, and then I could also do the PR stuff too, because that's like easy. I could do that in my sleep. And we just got 12 clients in 1 month, and I am floored because we are disrupting the PR industry of Boston in 1 month.
I think that deserves a round of applause.
And I'm so happy, much happier, because I'm telling local businesses stories and I'm helping people's dreams come true. It's so much more fun. And if you told me that I was going to leave news when I was your age, I thought I would have been a huge failure. So sometimes you have to keep your eyes open to all the opportunities out there. Maybe not. There are dreams you didn't even know you had.
Yeah, and you definitely talked a little bit about college. So what was your first opportunity after college to be a reporter?
So I got my first job. It was the recession, 2008, and I was applying to every single place I could for news, and no one was hiring. So back then we used to send out DVDs. They were discs. So you'd send those out, and I went to my hometown in Assonet, very small post office, same people working there since well before I was born. And they'd say, well, where are you mailing to today, Jackie? And I said, Alabama, Arkansas, and Alaska, because I don't want to go to any of those places. So I figure at this point, I might as well start sending it to that. We had sent over 50, 60 different DVDs out. No one was biting. And And then as I walked back to my car after many months of trying to get my first job, I got a call from a news director, and he said, "What are you doing right now?" I'm like, "I'm at the post office mailing out DVDs and resumes." And he's like, "Well, you should stop because I would like you to come in for an interview." And that's how I got my first job after graduating. But it was about a year and a half after. I went into TV, I went into radio advertising sales for a little while because I wanted to do the Miss Massachusetts pageant. I thought I was gonna have to move to get my first TV job. Guess where my first TV job was? Springfield, Massachusetts. This place can't let go of me, guys, apparently. And yeah, so you think that you make plans, God laughs, something else happens, and you just got to follow where the universe is throwing you.
I mean, it sounds like you've overcome a lot of challenges in your life, and we can only commend you for that.
Thank you.
And I know as a woman in such a competitive, kind of cutthroat career, what are some other challenges and different things you've had to overcome in your life from being a woman?
Yeah, I remember in high school, just trying to be my authentic self was not easy. I just was diagnosed with ADHD 2 years ago. I clearly had it in high school, but I was such a overachiever, I would memorize everything. So no one knew. I was masking, I was trying so hard. I had curly hair. I still have curly hair, that didn't change, just blow dry it now. This summer, I did a whole thing where I started wearing my hair curly for like a self-love thing. I like wanted to give my high school self a big ol' hug. And your hair looks so good. If I could make it look like that, I'd wear it every day. But I think I wasn't accepting myself back then. And I think now I accept myself more fully, and it's a new journey for me. And I'm 37 years old, so my best advice for you guys while you're in high school is bet on yourself, believe in yourself. There's no one like you, and that's your biggest superpower.
Would you say authenticity was your biggest challenge in school and obviously outside as well?
Authenticity has never really been my problem. It's been other people's problems for a long time, and now it's in vogue, so it's great. People are like, "We want authenticity." I'm like, "Oh, I've been authentic for a long time, and no one liked it." So that was great, but at the same time, I think that like leaning into your own authenticity and accepting your own authenticity is sometimes just as hard as other people accepting it, right? Leading with that is hard sometimes, especially if, and I think I didn't do it for a long time. I think I was trying to be a news anchor in the team you trust. And that wasn't getting me anywhere because I was doing the same thing everybody else was. It was only when I started doing my features reporting where I was finding my own stories and they told me to cover the arts. And I said, well, I don't want to cover ballet and the symphony, nothing against those things, but we had already covered those a lot. So I found the tattoo artist, I found the graffiti artist, I found, can I swear? Badass things that I wanted to cover, that I wanted to see, that I wasn't seeing on the news right then and there, and we did that instead, and that's how I got my Emmys.
Wow, that's very inspiring.
Yeah, but I wear a bracelet now. I used to wear one that said grateful during the pandemic because I was trying to find my happiness. It was in a low place, guys. I was trying to find my happiness, and I was wearing something that said grateful because I was trying, people say you should have a gratitude journal. So I was like, I'm grateful for all these things, and I was really grateful. I wasn't grateful for the people who weren't believing in me. And I kept staying in a place that wasn't right for me. And if you're continuously grateful for things that are not grateful for you, it's not a good thing. So that's when I try to change that attitude that I can be grateful, but I need whoever I'm hustling for, my family, myself, my job, they got to be pretty grateful for me too.
Yeah, that
So now I
sounds.
say badass instead.
It sounds like you do so much. So we have a question. We wonder, like, how do you manage to balance your work life and your at-home personal life?
I have a lot of help, usually. My babysitter's been sick for 2 weeks, so I absolutely love her, and I miss her. My madrina, my godmother, she's my second mom. I miss her so much. I have so much laundry to do, guys. It's been really hard this week for me. But my parents, my family, so that's why I live down here, close to the family where they can help out, and that's how I make it all happen. So I'm really fortunate that I have that. But I think you got to find your tribe. You got to find the people who are helping you. And as a working mom, I'm also saying there is no balance, right? So my new work ethic and my ethos for my company and me and my two partners is we're parents. And if our kids are screaming in the background, I'll go to another room. You're probably still gonna hear them, but too bad. That's how life is right now for me. And if anyone judges me about that, they don't have to be my client. And you wanna know how many, I had my kids in my launch video jumping all over me, and this, I think 60-year-old man who's a friend of mine, and I absolutely love him. He's very nice. He said, Jackie, next time just don't put the kids in there as much because they don't need to know you're a frazzled mom. I go, well, I'm not frazzled, but I am a mom, and that's part of my story. It's what I'm working for, so I can help take care of them and make our lives very happy. And why would I hide that? So I think that if we as entrepreneurs can say that we want the world to change, we better make steps in our own companies to change that. So we work from home, we are able to do what we want to do on our time, and I treat my employees like adults who want to get things done, and I know that I'm going to give them a little skin in the game too, and we're all going to get rich together. But that's kind of how I run my business, is with that ethos that there's work-life balance, but it doesn't mean that everything's balanced all the time. And you got to be really, really good about setting up boundaries sometimes.
I like that you use the word boundary instead of balance, because it's like you have to mix everything into it. You can't have an equal amount of both. Sometimes it's more than the other, and you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And obviously we have all these students over here who've been working really hard, talk about mixing work and play. So why don't we play a little game? We'll play a little game called This or That.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure most people probably know how to play. So we're gonna give you a prompt, and you pick this or that, and then you guys can vote on it as well. So we'll start off with something simple: coffee or tea? Raise your hand if you pick coffee. All right, now tea. All right, let's use a little more coffee.
Those people are calm, cool, and collected, those tea drinkers, guys. You're a special bunch.
All right, we got a next one. Playing sports or watching sports? Who says playing? Raise your hand. Yeah, ooh, a lot of athletes. All right, now watching
No.
sports.
Definitely not for me. I'll watch them. I'll watch a Patriots game. I'll go to Fenway to eat a hot dog and drink a beer, and then I'm bored. But yeah.
All right, and we have one more for everyone in the audience. Traveling or staying home? Raise your hand for traveling. Yeah, me too as well.
But still staying home sometimes.
Yeah, right?
Both.
Both, yeah. Who else is both? Yeah. And we have one just for you, Jackie.
Okay.
Pageants or news reporting?
Oh God, pageants all day long. I love pageants. Pageants are my favorite. Pageants were a wonderful experience. I think pageants is where I found myself. So many people say, negative things about pageants, and I think, and if anyone gets a picture of all of us up here, I'll post you on Instagram. So I couldn't take a picture of all of us, so I wanted to just mention that. I have 6,000 followers, guys. Could be a good get for one of you. So we can pageants. This is the ADHD talking, guys. So pageants were great because I found that you had to compete against yourself, because there was only one person going to win, and you couldn't change who you were. You change your dress, you change your hair, you change some basic things, but at the end of the day, you really weren't changing that much, so you had to work with what you had. And different day, different outcome, so you had to make friends too. And I learned how not to be competitive with other women, and how to champion other women, and how to be happy for someone when they get what you want. Really hard lesson. But when you figure out that you can still be happy for someone and your time might be coming later, it's a really good feeling to be genuinely happy for that person. And that person's gonna be so grateful for it. And then when you get something good, that person's gonna cheer for you even louder. So that was some of the best lessons I learned in pageants, and I had this sisterhood, and I had this pageant family suddenly that supported me after high school when I was so nerdy and getting tortured by all the kids in high school. I suddenly went to Miss Massachusetts and was doing well, and actually there was kids who made fun of me. They had a party to make fun of me when I was Miss Mass Teen USA, and I went to Miss Teen USA, and I got in the top 5 on national television. So I feel like they didn't have much to make fun of anymore, so joke's on them.
That's great to hear how your success in pageants has transferred over into the business world, into what you're doing now. Up next, we have a few questions from members in the audience. So Enrique Maldonado asks, what's the farthest place you have traveled for an interview?
Farthest place I've traveled for an interview. Farthest place I've ever traveled is Latvia for a wedding. The farthest place I've ever traveled for an interview, probably LA.
Who did you interview in
Oh,
LA?
goodness, a lot of people there. Half that list there. We went to go cover the Golden Globes. I've gone out for movie junkets, set visits. While we were with NBC for the 3 years that I was the features reporter, we got to do a lot of cool things. And when I say I got to, because I made the phone calls to make sure we were on those junkets. So don't just let people pass things to you. If you know there's an opportunity out there, I was up at my news director's office going, okay, well, we're NBC now, so how do I talk to these people? And so I got the right names, numbers, got on all the lists, and so I got lots of exclusives that no one else was even looking for.
All right, so we have another question from Natalie Duncan, and she asks, what feelings do you get when you win an award, whether it be like physical or kind of just emotional? What do you feel?
When you win an award? Yes. Oh, you should ask my husband this one. He says that when I win an award, I'm happy for a minute, maybe, and then I want another one. That is not healthy. Don't laugh at that, don't applaud that, that's not good. So I'm working on that. I now am realizing that I have to enjoy wins for the win and not just rack them up, because I used to value myself based on achievements, and I really caution you against that. I think now I'm trying to live more present and in a way that I'm valuing every day, the ups and downs, and not just the big wins.
Wow, that's great. Riley Lemaire, this is the last question from the audience. Riley Lemaire asks, what's one piece of advice you would give to an 8th grader involved in DECA?
Wow, well, kudos to you for being an 8th grader involved in DECA. You know, this one over here told me that she's really proud of herself. She went to go visit colleges as a junior, and I said, that's exactly when you should be doing this. You should all be doing things before you're supposed to, because you'll be ahead of the game, right? So DECA in 8th grade, wow. These kids are so impressive. They are, you know, speaking like better than the most adults. You're speaking better than I am, and you're doing better than a lot of adults are, right? So because you're getting involved in an earlier age, you're setting yourself up for leadership roles. You've been in it longer than everyone else. You're setting yourself up for just more wins. I always would tell, you know, I tried telling my sisters and other people who are younger than me, like, you have choices in life. And when you make choices, sometimes those choices mean that you have more choices or less choices. Try to pick the ones that give you more choices. And good decisions generally yield more choices in life.
And so, like, what's another piece of advice that you'd give to, like, just a modern student who is, like, looking to go into the working industry or into college right after high school?
Yeah, first of all, congratulations. Not easy, and just getting into college is such an accomplishment, so that's great. And so give yourself some kudos for that. Be kind to yourself. Know that when you're going to college, it's a new experience. Everybody, especially if you're moving away from home, everybody is nervous about that. Almost everybody. That first semester of freshman year is really kind of scary at first because you're trying to find your people. You cling on to some people. Those people generally aren't great unless you're really lucky. So if you found your people then, good job. You really lucked out. But you'll find your tribe, and you'll find the people that make you feel good. And if people don't make you feel good, you find other people, because there's a lot of people in the world. So don't base your self-value on what other people are saying unless they're building you up.
That's great advice.
And not lying to you, but, you know, like honest building you up.
Definitely, that's great advice, and I know I'm going to take that home. But that's all the questions we have for today, so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you. So sweet of you guys. Should have left my bag down there. Oh, that's very sweet.
Thank you with a little gift.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having us here. Thank you for the work you guys do every single day. I'm so impressed. DECA is amazing. They didn't have it when I was in school. Who knew? I could have been an entrepreneur before I tortured myself in TV news. Join DECA.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. That was really wonderful. Great job.
Thank you, Jackie. All right, so you're going to stay up here with me? Yeah. Okay, good. Get this back up. Thank you very much, Jackie. And thank you Xavier and Jada. Great job up here. I know you guys were nervous, but you couldn't tell. You guys did an amazing job. Yeah. They're going to get those. Yeah, I have them. All right. So at this point, we're going to introduce our officers. Our officers are going to take the stage over here on the seats, and then we're also going to introduce our class reps and some of our other people. And then they are going to welcome all of you up here for your pin ceremony, and you'll come on up. If for whatever reason there was a misprint or a certificate didn't print out, by all means, we will make sure that you have that. There's a lot of moving parts when we're organizing this, and we are human, so sometimes something can get missed, but hopefully not. All right, so as we begin, every year, before we leave for ICDC, which is the international competition, last year it was in Atlanta, and I think it may have been the last time in Atlanta. I think we may have outgrown that from what I've heard. This year will be in Orlando, Florida. But before we leave, we select our candidates, from our candidates our officer team. And last year, we were fortunate to be able to have a great leadership team come into place because it was a younger team. We lost a lot of seniors, and they came up, and so far, everything is going off very well. We have a lot of things planned. We have a Miles for MDA event planned, which is going to be our walkathon up on the track on November 20th. You are all welcome. Last year, I think most of you have heard, we were the #1 school, DECA school in the country to raise the most money for muscular dystrophy, and we raised over $18,000. And that was in a huge part to this team, but specifically to the person I'm about to call up, our president, Joey Kazlauskas. Come on up, bud. Presidente, congratulations. Thank you, buddy. And where Joey kind of directs the lead and drives the car, the person navigating that car is our Vice President, Xavier Sandoval. Great job up there, bud. Thank you. Oh, and this person, again, I have to share something a little bit special right here. In the crowd tonight, in the audience tonight, we have a couple special guests, and one person in particular who I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have even known that this was something I could do up here if it wasn't for this person. And her name is Cindy Sylvia. And Cindy, where are you? Where are you? Right over there. Cindy Sylvia is, I believe, the director, CTE director down at Durfee Schools now, is that correct? Yes. And is a legend. And her dad, who was a former DECA advisor down in Wareham for a lot of years and has trained some of the best of the best of the best. And so I'd like to think that I'm part of this lineage here, hopefully, and you guys have taken a lot of trust in me to navigate the DECA career of your son and our vice president, one of our vice presidents, Quincy Jones Sylvia. Come on up. I'll get this straightened out here. All right. Next, I'd like to bring up all of our vice presidents of special events who were huge in planning this whole event, planning our Miles for MDA event, planning a lot of the activities that we have for all of you. And I'm going to call all three of you up. I'd like to call up Giovanna Garino, Shelby German, and Gabe Laskowski. Yeah, you do the plan. Giovanna, congratulations. Gabe, Shelby, congratulations. And Gabe, great job, buddy. Awesome work. All right. And one of the things that we've tried to do and build, and one of the things that I think adds a lot of value to our team and why we are successful in our competitions, is we have a special vice president just for training. So for those of you who are new or newer, and you're not sure like what competition to do, or the best way to study for it, or the best way to train, we have a person that's going to help with that. Our whole team will, but this is our point person. And that person is Jada Blanche. One of our other activities that we do is we try to bridge the gap to the community. We try, you can see the support we have here from the city, from our administration, from our faculty, from our middle school DECA. I should point out, we have our middle school DECA advisor. We have Hannah Kennedy is here. Round of applause for Hannah. We only wanted about 10 students last year, and I think we had 50 from Parker, or 30 from Parker, something like that. Yeah, we ended up with like 35 from Parker. And this year, I think you're off and running to a good start. And we're very lucky. We have Friedman, and we were just able to add Martin with 2 advisors. We have Bailey Rooney and Haley Morera. Bailey and Haley. So that's how I remember it. So it's going to be fun. Okay, so we have business partnership coordinators. We have Tommy Hoy and we have Giovanna Landolfi, and their job is to go out to the community and make contact with the businesses so that we can build relationships with them in order to get their support and for us to be able to support them through internships. Come on up. Giovanna Landolfi. We have 2 social media correspondents because I do not know how to social media at all, and I'm not good at it. So Julia DeRosa and Sophie Almeida, come on up. Sorry. Thank you. And then one of the people that helps keep this whole thing together is our administrative assistant, Ava Venturelli. So having a big chapter, having a lot of kids in our school, we have, 2,800, close to 3,000 kids, and we have about 200. That's getting close to 8 to 10% of the schools in DECA, which is pretty good. In order to make sure that we have a face with the grade, what we've done is we've established class representatives. So our 12th grade class reps are Matt Small, who's not here tonight, and Nick Gilmore. All right. And our 11th grade class rep, we have Zach Gay and Riley Lemaire. Zach couldn't be here. Tenth grade class reps, Michael Laskowski and Natalie Duncan. And ninth grade class reps, Dylan Medeiros and Ben Rabel. And our 8th grade class rep, newly elected, James Haley. All right, at this time, I'm going to turn the mic over to your president, Joey Kozlowskis.
All right, everyone, good evening. Welcome to the 2022-23 DECA induction ceremony. Thank you to all who made the time to come to this ceremony tonight, and a special thank you to Mr. McPhail and Ms. Cicatelli for your hard work, dedication to our development and success. For those of you who don't know me, I am this year's DECA president, Joseph Kozlowskis, but everyone calls me Joey, Joey Kaz, Jojo, Kaz, or Kazzy. When I was a child, my grandfather and aunt always talked about DECA because they were very involved in it. My grandfather introduced DECA to Wareham High School, and my aunt took it over when he advanced to a different school. They both believed in the value of DECA that brought to the lives of many high school students. 5 short years ago, when I was in 8th grade, I was sitting where you are tonight, wondering, when is the fun stuff in DECA going to start? Wow, that doesn't seem that long ago. Knowing what I know now, I wish I had more time to appreciate the great moments we experience in DECA. I thought we were just having fun, but little did I know we were making very awesome memories. Some of you who already know how special this club is, but some of you are just beginning your DECA journey. I'm here to tell you we have a great year ahead of us. We are going to work hard, learn new skills, and have some serious fun along the way. I missed my first few years of ICDC because of COVID. I remember competing on Zoom, and I was not on mute. But I also remember taking the stage last year at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium at the International DECA competition in Atlanta. Wow, being up there, front and center, #1, was mind-blowing. Our chapter was so proud to have raised $18,000 for muscular dystrophy. We originally thought we were in second place, but we kept our foot on the pedal and raised an additional $11,000 in just 2 weeks. We pulled together, leaned on our community to get us over the finish line. Individuals and small businesses in the city pulled out the stops to help get us to first place. Our teamwork and dedication was a win for our chapter, our school, our community, but more importantly, for muscular dystrophy. Standing here as your president, 5 years in DECA, I encourage you all to take the opportunity to gain a professional skill set that will be with you your entire life. You will also gain confidence and experience in what it is like to be a part of something that is bigger than yourself and make memories that will last a lifetime. Steve Jobs said it best, if you really look closely, most overnight successes took a long time. Thank you for starting your success with Taunton High School. Now we're going to begin calling the general members up. You're going to come up the stage this way, get off down those stairs, and we're going to give you your certificate and your pin. First off, Kenneth Adamako, Elijah Alexandre, Aliana Alfama Love, Kaylee Alger, Susie Alves, Liliani Andre Lopes, Raquel Azevedo, Olivia Barboza, Alyssa Berry, Colby Bergantum,
Next up, we have Sarah Bonenfant, Matthew Botello, Bridget Badley, Emma Bradley, Holly Brennan, Joshua Brocato, Benjamin Brown, Harrison Brown, Jackson Buckley, Madison Cabral, and Sophia Cabral.
Next up, we have Amelia Shavs, Jesse Shavs, Katrina Cortez, Lillian Costa, McKenna Krail, Erin Crean, Milani DaCosta, Milani Davov, and Maria Luisa Diarujo.
Next up, we have Nia DePina, Sayla DePina, Emerson DuPont, Antonio Stamakis, Condoleezza Duai, Calvin Duai, Brianna Fernandez, Erica Francois, Jeremy Freitas,
Okay. Zachary Frias, Daniel Frias, Jalen Gomes, Jocelyn Gomes, Cecilia Gushy, Mia Hanna, Seth Huber, Bradley Highlander, Haley Jackson, and Shaden German.
Next up, Mason Johnson, Samara Kinju, Caden Lafferty, Emily Levitt, Danielle Levesque, Bridget McDougall, Achilles Maldonado, Alexia Maldonado, Enrique Maldonado, and Bridget McAvoy. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
David McAvoy, McKinley McLean, Kaylee McMahon, Aselin, McNamara, Kira McQuiggin, Chris Medeiros, Nathan Medeiros, Alyssa Moles, Jason Murphy, Priscilla Murphy, and Sean Murphy.
Mateus Noguera, Moyen Adebunmi, Nicholas Adardi, Kaylin O'Leary, Casey O'Leary, Benjamin Oliveira, Kahine Oskin, Ava Pagalucia, Davelin Pagalucia, Vansh Patel, dude, I fucking butchered some of them. I'm trying to not get one of you because I butchered some of these names. Xavier, just redo the same thing. Anthony Reyes, Dianelli Milagros Rivera Santiago, Kaylee Sanchez, Yamerzi Segura, Taylon Silva, Dylan Simmons, Nev Strawbridge, Leah Sarabian, Gabriela Tafaro, Gabriel Ty, Jack Falkovic, Trinity Wilson, Samantha Wong, and finally, Reza Zaman. Which one are you? This one? No, they should be in pretty good order now. No, I wasn't really. I know Caleb Kennedy is here. Oh no. Did I miss people?
You skipped a whole, like, you didn't call any R's or...
Oh, I missed the entire section of R's. We'll continue. Kaylee Pepin, Naylicha Perez, Yolani Perez, Kylie Phillips, Rose Plude, Kylie Quinlan, Charlie Rabel, Liana Ramos, Nayla Ramos, Ray Razor, Ella Reasoner, DeAndre, Anthony Reyes, and now we're back up to where we left off. Oh, you're welcome. Dude, it felt like it was missing because I was like, I saw Charlie, Rabel, and Pio here. And then Kelsey Medeiros. Are we done? Yep. So now the induction ceremony has come to a conclusion. We are going to have a table in the back if you'd like to make a donation to muscular dystrophy. And on your way out, feel free to take pictures, and there's water out there for $1. So thank you and have a good night.